This is Cybert signing into Black Hell. 0 hour on the map Black Hell, as we have a 1v1, a China Nuke mirror matchup. In the north, playing the blue, this is RaginG.
And in the bottom left, we have the red-colored Nuke General 4, none other than BoYcaH himself.
BoYcaH versus RaginG. These are a couple of players. I did get to cast BoYcaH in the World Series, but I did not get to cast RaginG. So I'm excited to actually be back in 0 hour and casting some more BoYcaH and getting to see a player I'm unfamiliar with, RaginG.
Yeah, both are really extremely good in this game, and in this Nuke mirror, you're usually going to see Battle Masters streaming at each other's position, and then one player might go to a Helix build, but here in this match we are going to see a right away build from the blue player, which is RaginG, aka Shay, going directly for the Helixes, not playing around with any Battle Masters, just going instantly for that one Helix.
Dragon Tank versus Battlemaster in the middle of the map. And, well, the Battlemaster gets a couple of good shots off, down to about half HP, and for now the Gatling Tank is going to avoid the Battlemaster. But yeah, BoYcaH going directly for those Battlemasters like you mentioned, and now the follow-up is going to be a Gatling Tank. Bunkerlix is up and ready to go, so this is going to be a dead Battlemaster inside the base.
Yeah, killing it with the last rocket, nice timed attack with the Helix, and we can see at the same time BoYcaH also now going for that Helix build in his base. He's on double war factory, a barracks, the airfield, and he has the oil derricks under his control, getting that nice sweet money in.
Oh, the Helix just, I thought he was going to pick up more tank hunters. He decided to unload them instead. Okay, never mind. He's going back. So a little bit of a mistake there by RaginG, accidentally unloading his tank hunters, but he's loaded them back up, and the second Helix is now out. Second war factory up and running for BoYcaH. His own airfield now online. And as you mentioned, those oil derricks, he's got those. He's also grabbing the artillery platform on the right side.
Yeah, I think what RaginG was doing there is unloading the tank hunters to get the propaganda boost and then go back into the Helix, so the nationalism boost, so they shoot faster and stronger. I think he didn't have that activated before, and the Helixes come in on the left side. They get that Helix tank. Due to the propaganda tower, the damage will be minimalized, and these Helixes can heal up and do more damage on the go.
First couple of oil derricks are giving BoYcaH a nice 2k per minute income boost. He's up only about 1.5k now that the third supply is online in the north, but BoYcaH currently leading the economy between these two players.
Did you know about the Helix killing effect in the middle of Black Hell, as we now have these many Helixes on the battlefield?
Oh, you mean if the volcano in the center erupts, it'll blow up air units?
Yeah, it's so funny if that happens, if the Helix goes into the middle and the Helix just blows up due to the volcano eruption. It's so funny.
The unfortunate timing. You played a great game and then you flew over the middle at the wrong time, and that's just it.
Yeah, when the map killed you. We can now see that the Helix is all flying over the map. We can now see that BoYcaH is attacking the top. There is a little fortress there, but BoYcaH doesn't care. He just goes in and will lose that one bunker Helix, which is very costly for him to lose.
Bunker Helix, all of the tank hunters inside going down. He did manage to snipe the dozer, so he's at least slowed down any more building there, but that expansion is pretty well set up. Another snipe of that Helix. BoYcaH losing both Helixes in 30 seconds.
That was a lot of money going down to the ground there for BoYcaH, but BoYcaH had the oil derricks a bit earlier, so he had that little money advantage. RaginG has the oil derrick now. He has Black Lotus running around in the middle. He lost his second oil derrick, so BoYcaH is ahead with the income, and he's very comfortable on 2 oil derricks and double supply center, triple supply center actually.
Yeah, that middle of the map supply keeping BoYcaH in this game. Arty platform on the right side going to get sniped by these helixes, but at least BoYkaH will get the intel on where those helixes are. For now, they are going to be backing off. On the left side of the map, BoYkaH moving in, Overlord, ECM, triple Gatling tank, all loading up into this expansion. Double bunker on the hill. BoYkaH is going to try and break this spot open, but Black Lotus is coming in. She may also be a casualty of war here if she gets revealed. Bunker goes down. Second bunker under threat. RaginG responding. His own Overlord coming in to push this away.
There comes the Overlord tanks. They try to engage, but the Gatling tanks are too strong of BoYkaH, and we also have to acknowledge that BoYkaH is on the Chang'an upgrade, getting that sweet 25% Gatling boost on the Gatling turrets. This is very powerful. Black Lotus needs to be careful. ECM tanks doing their job. Helixes cannot engage, and so therefore RaginG is forced to retreat in this engagement.
Free kill of that ECM. Now 2 supply trucks going to be going down after that. Black Lotus on the front line. They have sort of spotted each other. RaginG moving down through the middle of the map with 3 helixes.
He's using the advantage that his whole army is on the top of BoYkaH, and the helixes are fast. They can just travel across the map very quickly, while the Overlord tank of the BoYkaH is really slow, and so it will be difficult for him to reach the bottom. But now the engagement is unfolding again on the top side. BoYkaH successfully scaring away his opponent there.
RaginG not that sad about losing the northern expansion. He's got the southern expansion up and going. It's unfortunate for RaginG that he wasn't able to do any damage to the expansion in the middle of the map, that supply center that is up and running for BoYkaH. If RaginG had been able to shut that down, then he would actually be in a good spot.
Absolutely. The 2 oil derricks are still pumping out money for BoYkaH, which is a lot, 2k per minute, as mentioned before. We have the second expansion going for RaginG. He is making good money with that. He also bunkered it up with 1 full bunker and a few Gatling tanks in the backup.
In the middle of the map, RaginG looking to reposition that army. Gatlings pointed at each other in the south, but they ultimately decide to disengage. BoYkaH, he's been able to maintain for this entire game a slight income advantage. RaginG has mostly caught up. There's only 5 grand total resources gathered that separate these 2 players. So considering this is a mirror matchup, they have traded very, very efficiently. Their army value is in lockstep, but the nuclear missile is the big difference between them.
The nuke mix are also on the battlefield. Now we saw a little explosion there on the right side. Oh, losing that one MiG. Oh, that was close. MiG surviving that attack due to the MiG armor upgrade with the 50% extra armor. Good that he had that for 1k in the cost of the upgrade. And he can now go through on the expansion. There comes the nuke mix of RaginG. They do not have the nuke upgrade, so they are not as strong as from BoYkaH yet.
Helixes and Gats hanging out on this expansion. They're going to be able to shut down that supply center, but 1 Helix may pay the price. Double Vet Helix sniped out of the sky, and that's a decent amount of army from BoYkaH that has now been eliminated. He does have the faster nuke, though, and, well, there's the nuke upgrade that you were referencing. A moment ago, RaginG didn't have it, and now it's finally finished up.
Yeah, so both are caught up with the upgrades, losing a lot of mix there for BoYkaH. Oops, my mouse goes crazy on the screen. A free mix going down there for BoYkaH, and that was a hefty attack there for BoYkaH. He lost lots of cash there in this engagement, not for a lot of good payout there. He didn't destroy much with the nuke mix.
There was also a Gat going down on the north side as RaginG's MiGs sniped another Gatling up there, but one thing that RaginG hasn't been able to do is really disrupt the economy as a carpet bomb comes in over top of the airfield, snipes the airfield, and then carpet bomb, or the mines, the cluster mine comes in on the front door of RaginG. BoYkaH ticks over to that 3-star general status sooner than RaginG does.
But he has 2 dozers there standing ready to dismantle the mines, and so no problem there for RaginG, but it still keeps him busy. The Helix is staying alive there for RaginG. It's good that he keeps them alive as they are so expensive per unit, especially with tank hunters in them. That is 1.5k for the Helix, 500 for the bunker, and 1.5k for the tank hunters, if my math is correct. So it's a lot of cash in one Helix.
MiGs coming in, another 2 Gatlings going down. RaginG, even with all of these kills in the last minute, still hasn't ticked over to 3-star general. He doesn't have his own carpet bomb available. He doesn't have access to those higher powers.
Yeah, on the top side we saw a dozer trying his luck for RaginG, but was picked off by the mix here by BoYcaH. He's still camping there. Gatling turret coming in, getting tank, I'm sorry, but this Gatling tank will be shot to the moon, but gets a MiG in the process, which is good. Good trade-off.
Oh, the nuke in the main base. RaginG missed Black Lotus sneaking into his base, and BoYcaH has now gotten the secure on forcing the sell-off. The Gatling tank will snipe Black Lotus, but the damage is done. There's only a nuke on one side of the map.
And it's ready to shoot in 1 minute and 20 seconds, which is crucial as it will most likely land on the propaganda center of RaginG, doing lots of damage. Carp bomber coming in by RaginG. Now he sends in the artillery strike. He's targeting down the mix. Doesn't get the mix, gets the airfield. And the artillery strike is going to target down the other airfield.
Both airfields sniped away in short order. Overlords on the south side going to be getting taken down. Nuclear MiGs have dropped their payloads, and the ECMs put the Overlord to sleep. Helix is moving in for RaginG. He's lost a lot in the last minute. He needs to make something happen. Otherwise, that nuke's going to come down upon him and burn his base. Overlord coming in. Bunker trying to hold the ground. 3 Helixes here. Cluster mine as well over the top in the middle of that pathway. MiGs have refueled, rearmed, and they're taking their shot. 1 Helix goes down, and the oil derrick will be the next target as RaginG does heavy damage, but the clock is still ticking.
And it will land in 7 seconds in the base of RaginG, causing massive amounts of damage. RaginG is aware of that, and he tries to do as much damage as possible here. Has the nuke mines, nuke mix on his back, doing lots of damage, and there comes the nuke on the propaganda center as expected.
Gets the MiGs as they try to land. Radiation poisoning the ground as the last Helix falls on the other side of the map. RaginG loses his Overlord, loses his Helix, loses his propaganda center, and might even lose a couple of more units to the radiation. For now, the damage has been done. Carpet bomb coming in. That's the follow-up. BoYcaH with the 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that was a great hit. There comes the carp bomber, and airfield is gone. Supply center could be sold to get that 750 back for RaginG. Artillery strike also mixing up in that attack on the oil derrick. Good target, but not finishing it.
1 oil derrick remaining. Cluster mine in the north will deploy. Might end up sniping this dozer. Dozer gets the kill on the mines, but the MiGs swoop in. Everything dies, but the Overlord, the only thing that remains from RaginG in this attack. Even those mines picking up a couple of kills, the ECM and the Gatling tank going down. Truly, only the Overlord surviving that wave of attacks as BoYcaH has taken a close mirror matchup and just absolutely crushed it. RaginG has a very limited opportunity to come back in this game.
That was an absolute brilliant attack here, and the Overlord tank just standing out there. Oh, the Helix comes in, goes across the airfield, takes down so many MiGs there on the process, deploys the tank hunters and keeps them alive. No, actually they died due to the radiation. But that was a good attack here with the Helix on the airfield. But BoYcaH reacting in time and sending his MiGs up into the sky, saving them.
The last-ditch effort here from RaginG, not able to get the kills that he was looking for. RaginG's economy is actually fine. He's at 4K per minute of income. He still has that oil derrick you mentioned. The artillery strike targeted it, but it didn't actually go down. Carpet bomb comes in. RaginG striking back against BoYcaH. Snipes the airfield, but hasn't killed off both airfields. There's still one remaining.
Yeah, so the main target here in this nuke mirror seems to be the airfields with the nuke mix. Understandable, as they do lots of damage. I like the helix support of both players in the background, and BoYcaH still ahead there with the damage output due to the nuclear missile, which will launch in 3 minutes, causing lots of damage again to the base of RaginG.
RaginG, he's got that 3-minute timer to worry about there. His Gatling tank moving out. He's going to try and target down this airfield. That Gatling tank is just out by itself, roaming the map. Will get pushed away by a Battlemaster, and more cluster mines coming in over the top. RaginG returning the favor.
Yeah, we can all see that BoYcaH is collecting safely here from the bottom right with that supply center. And RaginG sends his army of supply trucks there into that supply field. He wants to have some money there as well, as both are desperate for money here at the moment. Artillery strike comes in, targeting on the airfield once again of BoYcaH.
That Gatling tank going up to double vet. Finally, the oil derrick will be eliminated. It's a 1-2 punch from the carpet bomb and that helix. So there was a trade of 1 clicks there. One player loses the airfield, the other player loses the oil derrick.
Yeah, BoYcaH still there with 1 oil derrick, generating 1k per minute, which is massive considering how broke these 2 players are at the moment with the income. There's only 2 sources of supplies here to gather from, which is on the bottom right and the top left. Everything else is mined out on this map, so you need the oil derricks or you need hackers, and hackers are not on this battlefield.
Helix is coming in from RaginG. He somehow managed to sneak out 2 more helixes. 1 with a bunker loaded up with tank hunters, 1 with the propaganda tower upgrade, and there is just nothing left in the main base. The nuke may not even get an opportunity to fire off as the war factory gets shut down, and now the reactor can be targeted as well. That's basically a freebie, as there isn't much to defend. Finally, BoYcaH shows up, but it's lights out as his power is going to be... no, he's still barely online. He has just enough power elsewhere on the map to keep the lights on. 1 helix goes down, but it's not the bunker licks. He didn't lose the tank hunters.
And the bunker licks now has the upgrade for the bunker, and he targets down the supply center on the bottom right. In the meantime, a Gatling is on the top, destroying the supply trucks. BoYcaH sending in his helix power, finishing off that Gatling, but the Gatling did a fine job in finishing off a few supplied trucks. That was good, and the helix of RaginG now moving in on the bottom side, stealing 1k cash from the enemy with the general promotion.
These like couple of helixes from RaginG have been doing absolute immense amounts of damage. There is so many opportunities for BoYcaH to strike back, but he just has not been able to do it. Nuke fires off just in time, right onto the other side of the map.
Artillery strike also combining this attack, destroying the airfield, but no, it's not destroying it, as this was just level 1 artillery strike or level 2, I'm not sure.
Oh my gosh, RaginG kills another helix in the south. Despite double nukes on top of his base, RaginG is the one who got to the 5-star general promotion first. He had access to the EMP, called it in on top of the command center, and BoYcaH is still just sitting... Okay, he ticks over to level 5 there with the kill of that Gatling tank. Carpet bomb coming out, sniping this supply center on the right side. Nuclear carpet bomb sends those trucks to the skies.
But the supply center is surviving, and the trucks can collect these supplies on the bottom right. They are uninterrupted, and this is great news for RaginG, as this is his only source of income. BoYcaH snitching $425 from that supply center, and Helix is now moving in on the left side from RaginG.
That was a lot of supply trucks that just got sniped. These helixes from RaginG all throughout the game have been an absolute menace. The first thing that RaginG did in this game was build an airfield, and that turned out to be a bit prophetic for how he wanted to play this game. Clustermine comes in on top of that war factory, deploying mines right outside of the front door. Something coming back over.
Oh, that EMP was so close. If he just stayed there for a bit more time with the helixes would have gone down to the EMP. That was a carefully timed EMP for BoYcaH. Unfortunately, missed the target.
BoYcaH now with a double vet helix on the right side. This is the speaker tower licks that is now sniping supply trucks that are long distance harvesting for RaginG. Both of these players living and dying based on their air forces. Finally, at the 21, almost 22-minute mark, RaginG has killed the other oil derrick of BoYcaH. So now all 4 oil derricks have been destroyed.
There comes the carpet bomber in by RaginG onto BoYcaH, targeting down the reactor. Reactor doesn't go down, he stays alive with the reactor, and this is rendering the carpet bomber a bit useless.
Dozer gets sniped. Artillery barrage coming in. RaginG is looking for the snipe. The command center is going to go down. There is still one Dozer around on the map. CC goes down. Reactor with it as RaginG manages to escape off to the right side.
Yeah, perfect play so far. 22 minutes full of action. The mines are being dropped off by BoYcaH onto the supply line of RaginG there on the top left. But the trucks... okay, they get destroyed now by the mines. This is pretty great play here. Helix comes in and finishes off the last remaining supply trucks.
These helixes have been a menace on both sides. RaginG's helix swinging into BoYcaH's base, and now BoYcaH's helix in the top left going full heroic status, triple veteran as it's getting targeted down. RaginG has had enough, and he knocks it out of the sky. The Dozer survives as well.
Yeah, there's just one Gatling tank remaining for BoYcaH. The helixes of RaginG are just way too powerful, and this looks to be like the end for BoYcaH as he sends his last dozer away, loses his last dozer, and that looks to be like a GG moment.
BoYcaH had the nuke, but it didn't matter as RaginG gets the win with the helixes.
It was a perfect play, really good game, and super well played here by both players. BoYcaH collecting a bit more cash due to the oil derricks he had a bit earlier and kept them alive for a bit longer.
And if you guys want some more 0-hour action, make sure that you catch cncHD over on his channel. Of course, I mentioned him in the World Series videos, but it's good to finally get to cast some games actually with you, cncHD. So if people want to check you out, there will be a link in the description. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and this is Cybert signing out.